Hello, men. Justin here with Just in Time. I hope you're having a great day today. Today, the topic of conversation is movement. What we are talking about today are things that are helping us and have helped me along the journey from 278 to 245.2 all the way to our ultimate goal of 180. So the first thing we're talking about today is walking. Walking for me has been it's played an important role in this weight release journey. Walking in the morning, as soon as I get up, that has been a dramatic help in seeing a reduction in weight on the scale the next day. So if it's not in the morning, right after I wake up, after I get a drink and things like that, it will be right after making breakfast, right after eating it, and then going on a walk. And that really helps digest the food that we just put in the body. So I've noticed that, it really helps with not feeling like weighed down or anything, which when I'm eating, I typically will eat to where I feel somewhat full, as opposed to when I did, maybe let's say like 3 years ago, eating, and then I'd feel completely full or to where I'd feel incapacitated. So eating to a point where I feel nourished and then kind of stopping right there and then going on a walk, boom, that thing, the act of walking, even if it's like 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, ideally, I think about 15 minutes is where I like to, the mark I like to hit. Walk around the neighborhood. We have a median, go down there and then come back and kind of sit on the porch for a few minutes and kind of get that, like walking high, jogging high, whatever it is, just getting all the oxygen flowing and kind of just looking out at the front yard, the grass, and relaxing for a few moments. So super beneficial to go walking, typically in the morning and the evening. And that's when I've seen the most result of released weight the next day. So anywhere from half a pound to a pound, depending on what I'm eating that day and how much water I've put in my body, especially in the evening if I drink a whole bunch of water or if I drink to where I feel right in the middle of where I should be, like hydrated but not overhydrated, and then waking up in the morning first thing and going and weighing. So walking twice a day is optimal. I have done 3 times before, and I think it's a little bit, it may be in excess. So I think 1 to 2 times a day is perfect. So with that, also jogging, kind of the thing, I put jogging here because it's like when I'm going and walking, I'll push myself a little bit to where I can feel my lungs really, really activating. And I'll push that, and then I'll bring it back down and continue walking. And when I did, this was probably 5 years ago that I did this specific thing. I was getting ready for a 5K, the first 5K I was ever doing. And when I would go walking, I would do the same type of training. I would walk and then push myself, walk and push myself. And then I got to the point where I basically was just jogging the entire way. So it's more of like we're stretching that a little bit. So try it out. Go for a walk and see what you think about, just getting out there and going around the block at least once. If you're starting where you haven't been going on walks or anything like that, hey, just getting outside, putting your shoes on and going around the block is a huge win. So taking that first step, the action for it is so key in all these elements, with the food, with the water, with the movement, with all of it. So highly suggest walking. That's helped me get from here to here. And as far as the second thing, we're going to talk about movement for push-ups. Push-ups, these right here have been beneficial for me because it's still keeping the body toned somewhat, and I can do them pretty much wherever I would like to. So I could drop down right now. I can drop down after I eat, before I go on a walk. I can do it while I'm on the walk, after the walk, wherever I feel necessary to do that, or it feels necessary to do that. So push-ups and squats, they don't require any equipment. So we could just do them right now. We don't have to have anything to get started on it, which is cool. I do have weights with the squats. Sometimes I'll do them with like 30 or 35 pound, just dumbbells, just holding them just to get a little bit more tone in there while we're releasing the weight. And we got to consider right now, I've gone back and forth on this, where on this journey, when I started about 278, it was 278, and I was dropping down. I got in the 60s. I got to 262, 258, somewhere around there. And then I started coming back up to here. And one of the things I noticed with that was my mind was split on releasing weight. So just basically being thinner and being like buff. And so there was kind of this splitness of mind, if you want to say it like that, to where part of me was like, okay, I'm going to get these weights and I'm going to lift and I'm going to feel bulked up, right? Get the arms, the biceps big, doing the forearms, all these different types of workouts, right? But I was losing sight of where I wanted to go. And at that time, I didn't have an actual set point, like a goal. I didn't have this here. I just said, I just want to look good. And for me, that was too vague. So I would go down, say it was like 258 or something, right? And I would start working out, to build muscle, right? Because I had all these ideas. Okay, you build muscle, you can lose weight quicker, right? Because, muscle weighs more than fat. And then if you have more muscle, you can burn more fat and all these type of things, right? But what happened was I would see on the scale, I'd be at 258 that day. I'd work out like intense to where it was like fatigue, just all these different workouts, too much probably for at the point I was doing. The next day, it would be higher. It'd be like 260 or something. And I'm like, okay, I know that I gained some muscle, but the scale is showing me something different. So now am I building muscle or am I releasing weight? And so I would highly recommend that, from my experience, keeping the workout as far as trying to build muscle, maybe to a minimum, and where it's more toning and just doing these basic, push-ups and squats and things like that. And you guys can check out online the squats, the different forms, like the proper form for it to do it. So we're staying in proper form, so we're not being injured. We're being, healthy with it. So these two require no equipment, perfect to do pretty much anywhere. And they have benefited me so much to get from here to here. So walking, jogging, push-ups, squats. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. So now on to the last thing. The last thing we're talking about really isn't so much as toning the body, but it's releasing stress and cortisol and getting more relaxed, which for me has dramatically helped keep my mind proper when it comes to like the kitchen and, eating the different types of food and setting in stone essentially what I'm eating on a day-to-day basis. When I can be relaxed, my mind is clear. Then the decisions that I'm making while I'm stretching or after I'm stretching, getting the breath in, getting the relaxation, now I'm even closer to the goal. So with stretching, I'll give you a few examples. One of the things I do is it'll be a neck stretch. So it's like left, right, back, down, or up, down, those type of things, where it's like holding it like that for maybe 10, 15 seconds and kind of rub it on the other side of the neck. Another thing with stretching is we can do a standing stretch where essentially we're just going down, touching our toes to the left, to the right, and then coming back up slowly and feeling that through the back and everything. That's what I do. And if we're going to go on the ground, a good thing for that, foam roller. If we can get a foam roller and use that, it's like $14-15. When I've used a foam roller, my back, I'll hear little pops when I'm going on it. And it's really relaxing all the different types of muscles in there. I'll put it on the side of my neck, each side, and then I'll do it on the front of my legs. So the front of the legs, I've really found releases a ton of tension there. And sometimes I'll pass out on the ground when I'm in a position to essentially just, have like pressure points on the front parts of my legs. Pushing down on those is so relaxing. There's a point on the side of the knee when I hit, And when I'm laying there, it's almost like I'm not even feeling my body anymore. The breath that's coming in. That's another thing with all these stretching movements or these stretching activities. The breath that we have. Think about during the day when we're breathing, like just when you're just standing there breathing. Are we breathing through the nose, like, and expanding the diaphragm and then coming back in? Or are we breathing through the mouth, like, now, if we notice those two different types of breathing, when we're doing the nostril breathing through here, it feels more relaxed, right? When we're doing through the mouth, it's almost like, you can hear it. It's like you're out of breath, like you're in survival mode. So the whole point of, one of the points of all of these, and especially the stretching, is to get into the state of relaxation to where our body can connect with the thoughts or the what we're doing as far as like our mind. Like when we're telling our body to do something, it'll do it, rather than having like some type of interference where we're all tensed up and, our shoulders are high and stuff like that. Relax the shoulders, get all the cortisol out. So with the stretching, calves is another essential thing on there too. If we're all on the ground, I do the calves. And then ultimately at the end of that, there's these balls that you can buy. It's red and blue balls. And I have links for all this stuff in the description for Amazon. They're essentially these balls that you can step on and use for different points, like pressure points on your body. And when you put them under your feet and roll around, it's essentially using like reflexology, where that's hitting other parts of the body to relax that. So it's like little trigger points, little spots that are going all the way up through. So after doing the full stretching, standing up, doing the touching the toes, and a few other things that I do that we can get into in another video when we're getting more detailed. After doing all that and then finishing with the balls on the feet, it really does feel even more so than just doing the front of the legs, no body. Like I'm literally just floating around walking, and it feels amazing. And what is that? What benefit does that have after we do that, and when we're dealing with people throughout the day, interactions with people? I mean, it changes the whole dynamic, and especially with the meals that we're eating. When we go in the kitchen and then we're making a meal, and if we haven't cleaned out our kitchen yet, we have other things in there like, types of cookies and stuff like that. Imagine being stressed and going in and then stress eating, grabbing the easy stuff. Now imagine being completely relaxed where you feel so at peace that you like don't need anything basically. And then we go in and make the proper food, which we'll show in another video, the types of things that I'm eating. But yeah, if we get in a relaxed state, that's really the key. It's feel good now. Have your body feel good now. That's what I've noticed. If we can get all these things accomplished and kind of intertwine these and use these when necessary, we're going to be in a state where it's like being at our desired weight is just icing on the cake, because we're already there in our mind. We're just like, this is so amazing. I feel so great. So then you imagine what you're going to feel like at your desired goal or desired weight. It's just going to be exponential from where you are at that moment. It kind of doesn't even matter at that point. So that's the place that I enjoy being, and that's what's led me to the progress that we see on here. So if you guys are starting at any point on this, I really want to give you encouragement that it can be done, because I've seen where there can be like a rubber band effect back and forth of weight release. And if you're starting at a point where you just don't know what to do, if any of this helps you, if it helps one person, that's amazing. So I'm giving this out as some type of format, some type of launching pad, some type of place where you can push off and have some type of encouragement to do that. And then ultimately it's up to you. You make the decision. The change starts with the decision that you make. So if you're in a spot in your life where it's going a certain way and maybe you're not aware of it and maybe you don't enjoy it. And maybe there's a lot of stress going on and there's things that are happening that you don't prefer at all. Know that you can change it. It's up to you. 100%. And you have the ability to do that. It makes a change with one decision. Everything changes with that. So even saying you're going to put shoes on to go walk, just putting the shoes on is a step. That's a step in the right direction for what you want to accomplish. So with that, I want to thank you, and I want you to know that I believe in you. I know that you can do it. You have the ability. And if my journey at all helps, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like and share, do all the things. And if you're on a journey as well at this moment, or you decided to start right now, leave something in the comments and let me know. So we're all in this together. And if any of this helps, I'm glad it does. So with that, I'll leave you, and thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. Take care.